Greetings, bloggers, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty with another edition of this week's vlog. This is the 245th edition of my vlog. Now, granted, some back in the beginning was 2 a week, and we now do 1 a week, one longer one more beneficial, and one that's been more refined. And as such, I start to think of myself, what is more refined? And we've had quite a week here in Dustin's community, my own little space, outside of my space. It's been a very challenging week at best, and that's more than likely why I'm coming to you a day later than what I normally do on my schedule. But we're starting to mend. Things are being better, and sometimes things, when they don't go our way, or we're faced with challenges, or we have issues in our life, we're presented in life with reality and evidence of why we need to do things. Um, you know, uh, I think I had reality one day and evidence the next. And whether we like to hear the evidence or the reality sometimes it can be difficult to hear those things. It can be challenging in a way to hear those things, whether we like to hear them or not, whether we believe them or not, whether we're addicted to something, whether it be, a certain thing, or maybe we think we know better than somebody who's told us or where it's coming from. We never understand the reality. Sometimes we have to have the silver lining that brings us the evidence and the reality, and that is what happened for me. So I don't know how many have really known. If you've followed my blog for some time, I haven't really been transparent about one thing in a long time, and that is my medication. I've been on medication for 23 years. When I became independent, I was really resentful of it, and as such, for the last 4 to 5 years, I've really not been in a good place with it. I'd started to make amends with it earlier this week for the final time, and seeing that I got to do this, and whether I like it or not, it's just a part of life. Medication has always been a part of my life, and I think that's why I'm so big and who I am body wise. But I think we have to counteract it, and and sometimes we have to counteract the obesity or the other challenges by exercising, and I know I have to do that, and I do that. But also, in some retrospect, where the evidence comes in is where things that we're doing that counteract the effectiveness of the medication, uh, along with knowing that I have to take the medication, when we're counteracting the effectiveness of the medication, and we know this is not a good idea or that it is a good thing to do, and it makes us react very negatively towards others. And sometimes we have to remember in life that we don't get do-overs. And I think sometimes I was very close to not getting a do-over, and I don't know if I even will. But we have to, right now we're having the accountability of what we need to do and how we're going to get out of it, and how the evidence has shown that I need to take my medicine, and I need to not have caffeine in excess. And slowly we're working with it. I think caffeine has been its own journey for me, from 16, 17, 18 years ago when I went away. And I think the difference between that time and this time is access was more available, but only in certain quantities. And nowadays, for the longest time of being independent, it was a do whatever I want sort of state. And when you're an autistic person and you think you can do what you want, sometimes you have to learn that life's lessons, whether they come from your parents or whatever trusted adult or whatever advice you think is serious, there's a reason behind it. And that you have to do, sometimes you have to just do it, and whether you like it or not. And it's not always easy, it's not always what you want to do, it's not always going to be easy, but hopefully within time things will get better, and things will progress and show and be what they want to be. You have to be willing to accept that you did something wrong, yes, but I think the reality is I have to realize that if I want my life to be any better or increase or be any more of an independent life than what it is now, then I must do what is right and face reality and stick to the evidence of what I need to do. There's research and it's been proven what I need to do. You know, it's not what I want, and it's not about what I want. For the longest time I thought medication was a win. And now through the week I have now learned that it's not a win. It's not something that I need to be, upset about or anxious about, anything like that. It's helping me and I need to see that it's helping me. And being today, if you looked at me 24 hours ago, that's why I did not do the vlog 24 hours ago. I had everything set up earlier this week, but now we're finally in the mend and we're getting better. That 24 hours from now, you see a difference even from what I am 24, even 36 hours ago. So there's a big difference, and sometimes you have to have the right precipitators and the right elements come into play to have you figure out that, hey, maybe I need to do this for me. And even though I don't want to do it, or maybe even though it's not what me as an addictive personality of having um, wanting to have things like soda and unhealthy sugars and caffeinated beverages, it just doesn't mix with the medication that I'm taking. And therefore, I must do what is right because it is what I need to do to stay well and to possibly even live longer. And we don't want to see that those challenges be disrupted or my life be ended short or consequence that are really bad happening because I'm not taking care of myself. Sometimes we have to do the right thing, whether we like it or not. And that's I know I keep saying that, but in reality, it's facing reality. Reality is that I have to do something that I've not wanted to do for a long time. And the last time I withdrew from caffeine completely was 29 was in 2019, I believe, or 2020. No, I believe more of 2019. And I was so miserable. I was deathly ill, and I just couldn't move out of bed, and I couldn't do anything. I was just in so much pain. And now I'm realizing that I need to taper in some instinct, but not in a heavy taper, a light taper, only when I'm feeling the need if I'm having a little bit of a headache, to take something and not have as nearly as much. And today I've not had nearly as much caffeine as I had in days past, or even yesterday, or even days past. So you can tell that the things are starting to work out, whether you like them or not. um, I'm starting to feel a little better, and I'm thankful that I did not drink as much caffeine today because I don't know if I'd have the same outcome or not. I don't know if I'd feel as well, and I don't know if I'd be able to get through the weekend. I am relying to support when I can, but I'm pretty much not 80% of this soloing. I'm checking in sometimes, but it's not easy. And sometimes when we have the reality and the evidence is really kicking in that I need to do things. And I'm doing things and I'm taking care of myself slowly but surely. It isn't always easy. There's no right path, there's no wrong path. There's nothing that's just going to be easy. It's not going to be set in a way that you think that somebody's going to tell you how it's going to go. It's not going to be in a way that is just clear and concrete. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself in life. This has been a battle for a very long time for me. And whether, I relate a lot of my incidences, my meltdowns, my near brush interactions with law enforcement or the public. Um, I react them with a lot of relating to the fact that I was heavily caffeinated and taking medicine, or not taking medicine and heavily caffeinated, or not near taking medicine and heavily caffeinated. either way, the caffeine, the needing to take medicine is important. The caffeine is not having the caffeine is important. Um, it's not that I can't have one, but it's knowing that I can't have it in places where I normally go for it, and replacing those places where I normally go and seek the such things with more beneficial options. And I'm slowly coming up with a plan to work with that. And I thank goodness we have more of an internet base in 2023 than we've done all along. Even from when I was a teenager, and it's hard to believe. I have a flyer here from our local cable company. We've had internet in the area for 25 years, and I was one of the first customers back in 1998. My parents were. So, that definitely says a lot. That we've come a long way, and in fact, I've been diagnosed for 25 years this fall, with my ASD. And I'm not going to let this one little hiccup this week, or these couple hiccups, or these reality checks, or seeing the evidence stop me. However, I'm going to let the outcome happen, whatever outcome provides for me. I'm very optimistic, but I'm always expecting the worst, and whatever it is, we'll take it. We'll take whatever we are deserved, and whatever we are given orders to do. But in my hindsight, I know that I am going to take care of me. I am going to withdraw from caffeine, and I have to, because number one, it interacts with the medication, and I need to take the medication, whether I like it or not. Whether I know I need it, it's always been proven. It's always a fact. And having caffeine in excess is not, it counteracts that, and it's just a nasty replacement for counteracting and interacting with the medication in a bad way. So it's very important for me to follow all those things. There's also other things that I have not done to maintain my wellness, and that I recognize that I need to work on, such as meditation and other exercises to help me calm down when I am agitated. And after I have done some of those today, it seems to be better. Walking is good, and it seems to help too, but not getting into having replacement for the old habits that I used to have is one of the most important and cherishable things that I recognize that I need to do for me. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging, but I'm for it because I know I have to do it to make things right. And things are never going to get better. I'm never going to improve. And I'm not beating myself up. I want to make that clear too. I'm not beating myself up because I know I have to do this. And I know we all make mistakes. Everybody's human. We all make mistakes. Things happen in life, whether we like it or not. But I think the reality is, and I keep saying reality, is that the evidence proves itself, and it's just part of life, and that's what we're going to have to expect, whether we like it or not. I think there will be a better outcome from this. I think I'll be a more valued person because of it, whether I like it or whether I like the 3 weeks of unhappiness. We're going to work on things, and it's going to be okay, and I feel that it is. So with that being said, I want to thank you for listening today. I'm not going to go on and rant about this forever because it seems like it's going to be a rant. So I'm just getting a little bit of air off my chest, but I want to prove to you that, sometimes, you have to do what reality says you have to do. And if the evidence proves itself, it does. So with that being said, I want to thank you for listening. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest at Dustin's Dynasty, on the web at dustinsdynastyusa.com. And we'll talk at you soon. Take care of yourselves and stay safe out there. Bye for now.